there's probably no better time than now to share our big announcement, which involves all of those realities. We realized, as Roby mentioned, that we could not continue leading the effort as a US-based organization led by, as much as I love Haiti, as much as the culture has entered me, and it didn't make sense. It wasn't most sustainable, and it wasn't the way to have the best impact. And so we created Rasin Devlopman, and we worked hard to establish that organization to help set up the foundation to it so that it could thrive. And that's what it's done, and that's what it's doing. And the amount of growth and the amount of expansion and scale and impact is going at a pace that is extraordinarily exciting. But what we realize is that we really need to take that momentum and step up and respond to it. And what we are about to the path we are about to take now is we are in the process of purchasing a piece of land on La Gonave, Rasin Devlopman, the Haitian organization, purchasing a piece of land on La Gonave in order to build for the people of La Gonave, for the local authorities that we work with, for the network of community leaders that we work with, a permanent leadership and community development center on the island, a center that is Lagunavian. You see now shots of the land overlooking mainland Haiti, which La Gonave does, on its isolated self, which at times is a blessing and at times a curse, in order to create a permanent facility that represents permanence, which is something that is not always the case when it comes to charitable works. Charitable works can be fleeting. They can come and go, whether money's there, whether money's not there, whether there's a tension, whether there's a crisis. It represents permanence. It represents a serious partnership and a serious commitment that is there to stay between Rasin Devlopman and the island. And it also is a key step, a key resource, a key step for us to get to this hub that we know La Gonave can be, this example of an island teeming with successful community-led development, not led by organizations, not led by international entities, led by the very people, by elected officials and local authorities, community leaders, the population, with support and partnerships that add to those resources in order to improve quality of life on that island. And that is what Rasin's goal is. And Roby, if you would, this was your idea, this is what you've been leading, this is your moonshot, this is your step. We need to help people understand what this is going to take, and that it is going to take a bold, as much as this is a bold move and decision that you've made, vision that you have, this is going to take bold support from across the spectrum, from all of our supporters. Please tell us more about where this idea came and what it means and what the value it will have for La Gonave, for its people, for Haiti, and as an example for the rest of the world.
Thank you, Chad. And if you please give me like 1 minute to say thank you to Anthony Carl Rasin, because his point was really touched me very deep. And I'm glad I was not on camera, because at some point I teased, I cried. So actually to shift to sustainability, he was mentioned that in his speech. He said that when someone gives a donation to Roots of Development, to Rasin, you give it to people. You give it to do the work on the ground to change people's life. So community development, as we said, is a process. The process means to be like sustained. People has to see it. They call Haiti the Republic of NGOs. Haiti been more than, I don't know, 10, $15 billion in the last 10 years. So you can't really see something in Haiti beside of Haitian crying for help every single day, and security, economical crisis. So for our work in Lago now, we really want to see it scaling every day. So to do that, people in Laguna have to see it. It's for them. They are contributing in it. And they don't see Rasin Devlopman or Roots of Development like a group who come and they can leave anytime. So for us to invest in a leadership and development center, it's really essential to scale the work that we are doing in Laguna. Why? What this center going to do? It's going to be a center, as Chad described. It's going to be the local authorities, for the local organization, for the people. It's going to be to learn, to teach, to empower, to inspire, to create a hub of community development, an example that can serve Haiti. What we see in Haiti, we have what we need to develop ourselves. We just need an example. Thanks God, Laguna is not part of the big land of Haiti. We think we can use Laguna as a space to really create something with the people to create a model of community driving development in Haiti. So it's going to be like a big project for all of us, but we know together we can do it, and we will do it.
Thank you, Roby. We had a set of objectives for this year before things got very difficult. Rasin Devlopman, because of the nature of who it is, how it functions under Roby's leadership, the incredible sacrifice. The team of Rasin Devlopman is just like everybody else who's on this call tonight, is just like our honoree. They are committed. They're not committed because of salaries. They're not committed because of any, those things allow them to live, but they are committed because they realize that we are different and that we are doing work that is significant. That is not just having an impact on the people of Laguna, but that represents something for a lot of others, anybody who gets exposed to it. And Rasin set out, they achieved those objectives, or in the process of wrapping up the year and achieving those objectives, but have gone even beyond. And that includes bringing on a monitoring and evaluation specialist, Haitian firm that is working with Rasin Devlopman in order to help it build out a system so that it can really help measure, quantify its impact in order to reflect on itself, to improve as it scales and improve activities and improve its reach and its impact, but also to share that with others, to help others understand in a very productive and effective way what it is that they're doing, especially for folks who can't come to Laguna and see it themselves. That's a big investment and a big deal that should have a major results and impact for the organization to strengthen it. And two is the first step of this leadership center, which is going to be the major focus of 2022. Now, before the end of the year, however, the first step that is being taken is securing the piece of land, which in total is going to cost about $35,000. Rasin has made a deposit, Roby, I believe, of half of those funds on the land. It's been given to the owners, Lagunavian owners on that land. We've, through the end of December 31st, are going to be looking to raise, we must raise in order to complete that in 2021, the purchase of the land, the remaining funds for that. So please, again, this is reasons to give tonight, right? To leverage that $5,000. I mean, the Attorney General's $10,000 commitment is huge and makes all of these realities, all of these possibilities, a reality. We end this year pushing through some of the biggest, most wild challenges that we all faced that affected us professionally, but also personally, and accomplish that. So please keep an eye out, past tonight, and figure out ways that you can help us to leverage your networks, your partners, your connections, your colleagues, your family and friends through our campaign to help us raise the funds so that Rasin can purchase that property. We couldn't get into all the details of what that center will provide. I mean, there's going to be all sorts of interesting training activities, not just kind of classroom setting trainings, leadership stuff, but using the property that's there for farming and agricultural practices. We are exploring, the sustainability of that center and being able to host partners that come out, the right types of partners that want to look at doing impactful things on Lago Nav that are led by the community, supporting the objectives of the local population, and be part of their journey and their development. But more to come, more will come, and more details on that. But keep an eye out to help us raise those remaining funds so that we can achieve that additional objective this year.